Morning all, Story Circle Toys here. We are heading off to, I always get the name confused, the Auckland Collectors Fair or Toy Show. It's the one at the Freemans Bat Community Centre. It's been running for years and years. So yeah, it is a murky grey Auckland day. It's been raining on and off. We've just picked up, we've got B who's videoing this, and we've also got her friend Roma. So yeah, what am I expecting today? I don't know. There's a lot of Hot Wheels at this show, which I'm not a huge fan of, but I think I'm going to try and pick up something, see if I can find something Hot Wheels related that I can enjoy. Otherwise, yeah, not planning to get much. I am picking up Brad from Turtle Power is going to be there, and he has a whole bunch of toys, loose TMNT completes to pick up. But yeah, I've already paid for those, so hopefully this can be a cheap event. So yeah, let's go.
Hello, I'm B, and with my friend Roma, and today we're going to the Freemans Bay collectible show. And what I'm looking for is some Tokidokis and anything capybara. Don't know what to really expect, but I'm hoping to find anything like that.
Hi, I'm Roma, and I don't know what to expect really because I've never been, and but I would like to get some squishmallows, I guess.
And here we are, heading up towards the community centre at Freemans Bay. So the Toy Fair has been held here for years and years and years. Of course, it was a terribly grey and dismal day in Auckland. Girls have the umbrella out. Here we go, Auckland Hobbies Fair. All Toy Fair, according to the current advertising. Now, this queue usually goes down the block, but we got there a bit late, and maybe the weather put off a few people coming, but once we got inside, it was very, very busy. So yeah, this is one of the busiest shows. The hall was actually pretty big, but once you get all those vendors in there, once you get all those people in there, it narrows down. And look, one of the things I'm learning as I head to these live events is there's a lot of filming people's backs. Now there, of course, is the very happy Rochelle from Retro Space, one of my favorite stores, and I've known Rochelle and been a customer for years and years. There we are, just chatting about the event, her talking about how it's pouring with rain when they got there and loaded in. So yeah, check out Retro Space. I didn't pick up anything from them today, mainly because I'd like to head back to the store and do some purchases. They have a huge retro section now, as well as all their new toys. The girls loved that little gizmo there, and we're curious as to what that pop figure was. I had to explain cat dog. Now, there was one of the good things about the show this time is I did kind of say earlier that there was a lot of Hot Wheels and cars at the show. I did feel like this event had more sellers than there were none. It weren't Hot Wheel sellers. Still plenty of them there, but yeah, there's a good variety. It's good to see more sellers. That was me just looking at that carded Turtles Fugitoid, which I did not pick up because the card was just not quite perfect. There's some Thundercats. Kind of wish, I'm not sure, I'm not as fond of Thundercats even though I had those toys. Huge Godzilla. I'm not sure, I think this was part of a Toy Dope stand, or maybe it was another seller right beside Toy Dope. This was pretty cool. I didn't check the price on these, but this is me awkwardly explaining to the girls why this infamous Batman water pistol is infamous for it. Yeah, you'll notice the trigger placement. One of these was actually still on card, which was pretty cool, but I declined to pick it up. As I said in my intro, limited budget. Didn't want to spend a lot unless it was really, really special. Now this stand, of course, caught my eye, and they had some cool stuff. Here's some droids, recent droid stuff. And in a second, I'm going to pick up that Star Wars Jawa there. But I just really wasn't shopping for any vintage collection. They did have some, you'll see in a second, they've got a box of Kenner figures. None of them complete, but there were some good deals if you wanted them there. I just, didn't spend a lot of time looking through it. Though some accessories, I'll probably realize there's things I should have picked up there sometime down the line. There's an armorer from The Mandalorian that was cheap. Should have picked that up as well. The girls found this stand. We've seen the seller before. I don't know her store, but she has a good selection of dolls and little pet shops. So the girls, Beatrice and Roma, had a really good look into this. And it's good to see this variety. I'm still searching for that one Barbie. I'd like to add a little bit of everything into my collection. And my good friend Melody of Melody Likes fame, she sometimes has some stuff come up, and there was like a Peruvian Barbie that I wanted to get, but the bidding went too high. So I want one good representation. So maybe I'll find it yet. So we're jumping around to all the different stands. This was definitely the Toy Dope stand. You see here, I started going through their bins. Now, they had these big bags full of all these PVCs and toys, and I saw somebody else going through, and something caught my eye, and maybe you saw it in that right there. They had some other cool stuff here as well. I think one of the coolest things was the deluxe Simpsons figures they had there, which had some really cool scenes, Itchy and Scratchy, Homer and Hal, some absolutely, it would have been cool, but I don't have anywhere to put those kind of big figures. Now, both B and Roma quickly found the Care Bear stand. There's always a good Care Bear representation at all these events, and this seller had a good supply. There's B. Eventually they picked up like a 2-pack, so they could share one each. And this seller was really good because she was like, there's also some cheap stuff and some bins underneath. And B also picked up something for her sister Evie, picked up another little Care Bear. Now, there's me scanning the room. You can see how busy the event is and how big it is, but it is super crowded, but I suppose I'd rather have it this way than anything else. Now again, look, there is all sorts of wacky toys. There's books, there's board games. Look, I can't do justice to everything here. Yes, there are a lot of vehicles. There's a lot of old stuff. Panning back to the Care Bears, because I think in a second the girls are going to show me exactly what they picked up. So they had a great deal. Really appreciate when these sellers look after the kids. She found this little purple Care Bear for Evie. So Evie was very chuffed to get this. Evie's 4 years old, so I don't always take her to these shows because she is a little bit of a wild one. She has no fear of running off. So we got her some toys instead. There's so many stands. Have these so many cars, and I was complaining a little bit about Hot Wheels, and I'm sorry, I just they're not my thing, and this is something really cool. I saw a lot of these little old army men, but I don't mean to be down on Hot Wheels. It's just I kind of like when it comes to vehicles, like the older stuff, the British stuff, and I suppose Hot Wheels actually kind of killed off British car manufacturing. Toy manufacturing of cars. Now here we go. This is me catching up with Brad. Brad runs Turtle Power, and yes, you see there he's got a red bag of toys for me. So Brad runs, kind of a fortnightly auction, and I brought some stuff. So I'm not going to go too deeply into what I picked up off Brad. But you see, he is just, he is great because, obviously he drills down on turtles. Look, this is going to be boring if you're not into turtles at all. But I love them. Look, I remember when TV3 came, New Zealand only had 2 TV channels. So TV3 came along, and one of the key things that was on TV3 when it launched was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cartoon, and that was mind-blowing. So here's going through some of the bits and pieces. You'll notice that little troll, that was a little auction 3B that came with there. There's the Rat King, Leatherhead, so many bits and pieces. I'm gonna do a proper video on these. Look, check, search for Turtle Power online. Brad has so many figures. As I said, he runs those auctions. He can look. That is, if you want turtles, he has it. So again, he's somebody I really speak highly of. You see up there, that's what was kind of like complete turtles. I didn't pick anything up on the day. But obviously, I do shop regularly on a regular basis with Brad as I build up my turtles collection, which is kind of blooming now. Now, you'll see here, these are the stickers of his flashback toys. I really like their stand because they just had such a huge variety of stuff. And all, it's all properly marked and priced, which is really cool. And yeah, big variety. You'll see when I get to like the hall, I only got a couple of things from them, but hopefully next time I'll pick up some more stuff. As I said, I was on a budget. I didn't want to blow things out too much, which is really easy for me to do if I get that, if I get excited. I'm going to look at some of their toy figures. There's a Funho grader there. Didn't go for that. But yeah, here's the big bins of stuff. And look, it's really well worth going through these. Of course, I didn't go through these into too much details. The girls had a good look around. And I know they picked up some bits and pieces from Flashback Toys. Now, I just wish these guys did. Oh, now that said something. That 1973 Mego Batman, I was kind of tempted by that because that thing is horrifying. Maybe if they have it next time I see their stand, I'll pick that up because it's kind of horrifying. There's some Smurfs. And of course, once we get to my toy haul this time, I did, in fact, get some Smurfs instead of just talking about getting some Smurfs. So yeah, probably only unfortunate thing is that these guys don't have a website or a Facebook page yet. So hopefully they can remedy that. I did have a good chat with these guys. They've seen my videos. I've purchased them from them before down at Taupo show. But yeah, there's something here for everybody. Definitely recommend those guys. Now, the Freemans Bat Community Centre has kind of like multiple rooms as well. This is one of the rooms off the main hall. And this seller we saw down at Taupo as well. I cannot remember his name. God, I should have got a business card from him. So I apologize. Maybe if I find it later on, or if you reach out to me, I'll put a link to you guys. But yeah, this show is not heavy on cards, so it was good to see at least one like Pokemon seller there. And of course, if you want a Marvel Legends, he had a lot of loose, complete Marvel Legends, as you can see there. I think a few Black Series Star Wars in between them, not too much. But yeah, really good selection, and had some good high-end pieces for Pokemon as well. So even a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's some of his folders out there. Now here we go, back to the main floor. Tanks. Man, I'm not that big of a World War II aficionado anymore, but those tanks look sweet. And here we go, Hot Wheels and Hot Wheels. I said in the intro I was going to try and find something. The girl saw that Wonder Woman and wondered why she was a zombie Wonder Woman. And look, you can tell with that face. So here we go. This is me having a look at a Funho tanker. Question is, did I purchase it? Well, you have to wait till the end of the video to see what I did. Now we're about to go in the upstairs onto the stage area, but before I got there, I spied this stand right on the corner just before you end up the stage. And in a second, something's going to catch my eye, and I'm going to investigate. Is that an Imperial toy? Who knows? Look, we'll get to it in a second. I've got my reveals at the end. This is the stage area, which is just like... no, actually, sorry, this wasn't the stage area. This is still down below. This is one of the sellers with a lot of dinky and old classic British cars. Sorry, my camera work doesn't do justice to all of this. This is now upstairs on the stage. Look, upstairs on the stage area, you had... this stand had a little bit of 3D printed stuff, but you can see there is this Hot Wheels and Matchbox related stuff. Model kits. Look, this is the thing. If there is something specific, there are so many sellers and with so much stock. So look, if you're Hot Wheels, look, that's everything. Surely you could find something here. And in a second, I'm going to go by one of the stands, and I am about to find something up here, which was not Hot Wheels, but is super precious to me. Let's head over. I'm just about to find it. Watching this video back, I'm pretty excited to see this video because I'm about to find something from my childhood. And you're going to see me get into it a little closer when I do actually have a review. So let's see, what did I spy there, and am I going to purchase it? Let's head back to the studio in a few seconds and find out. And here we go. This is the haul from the Auckland Toy Fair. Look, I didn't have a big budget going into this. I probably spent an equal amount on B and Roma between little toys and hot chocolates and cookies for the girls. But, look, we're going to keep a running track of how much I spent. So let's see what this haul added up to. So the very first purchase of the day, you'll see from the videos, was from the Toy Dope, who we saw down at the Taupo Collectibles Show. We have some Fraggle Rock PVCs. Now, Fraggle Rock, you might ask, who are they? Let me remind you.
Fraggle Rock.
So I was a huge fan of Fraggle Rock as a kid, so maybe that intro, reminded you of these particular characters. But this is Gobbo, this is Wembley. Very happy to have these PVCs. And look, I wouldn't have even have noticed these had I not seen somebody else going through the plastic bags at the Toy Dope stand. So look, when you're at these events, go through those bags. You never know what you'll find if you don't search through those. I mean, sometimes it's going to be a lot of trash. Sometimes you're going to find little golden relics like this. So I picked both of these up, $10 in total. So yeah, let's add that to the total. So next on the purchasing was this little truck. Now, this little truck, of course, is a Fun Ho truck. I'm not sure if you can see there. Let's see if we can get that in focus. But this is a Fun Ho New Zealand Bedford truck, made in New Zealand. I love my made in New Zealand toys. I've got a few of these tankers, but this one is, of course, says pure New Zealand milk. On the back, it says drink milk and stay alive. So had to have this little one for the collection. A lot of these Fun Hos, because of their age, you'll see there's chipping on the paint everywhere. But in a way, I think that kind of adds to their charm. So picked this up for $15. So yeah, great little purchase. I don't go out of my way to get the Fun Hos. I like when they come up. So yeah. So the next little purchase was some Smurfs. Finally, in one of these videos, I see some Smurfs and I actually purchase them. So I picked up these Smurfs. This was, I believe, $12 in total. So I believe this blunderbuss Smurf was $10. I think, actually, no, she's got a little damage at the top of the gun, so I'm not sure what went there. But that's fine. I'm sure if I ever get a chance to upgrade it, I will. So we've got blunderbuss Smurf, and we've got this poor old injured Smurf. Now, funny thing is, these Smurfs came from the guys at Flashback Toys. They gave me this lovely little sticker here. Now, unfortunately, they don't have a Facebook page or a website yet. Something they're working on, but you might remember the guys at Flashback Toys because they were the ones that I purchased the Toll Toys Star Wars puzzles from back at the Taupo show. So they watched my video, so I really appreciate that. Hopefully we can get them on video again, and hopefully they start with a website or Facebook page soon. So yeah, $12 on the little Smurf characters here. Nice little addition. Do need a little bit of cleaning up, so we'll get to that soon. I think, let's have a look. I can see the date. It's 1976, and I cannot see the date on that one. had to clean him up. He's a bit dirtier than the other one. So, on to second to last purchase. This purchase was a pure nostalgia purchase. This is a big crane truck. I'm not sure what you call it. Let's have a look in the bottom. This is a Hercules mobile crane, Super Kings Matchbox, 1974 Lesney products. So this would have been made in Britain, made in the UK. Yep, if we see down the bottom, see made in the UK. Why did I purchase this one? This was total impulse. I had this as a kid. So I was born in 78, and I don't know, but this was a mainstay of my toy box when I was a kid. This one is in pretty good shape from 1974. The worst thing is obviously there's a lot of paint chipping on there. Unfortunately, the front glass, the side glass there is broken, still there in the engine cover. But I absolutely love this toy. I need to give it a clean, but I just spent hours running this through. You see the crane goes 360 degrees, and it's got a real good resistance there, so you can move it to where you want. It's not going to fall down. Look, this takes me back to hours of playing with this. Even has little stabilizers on the side, and also as a kid, this thing was a spaceship. It was a battleship. It was a lot of things to do with war, I suppose, but it was so many things in my collection. So this was on a stand. They had a lot of Hot Wheels and vehicles. It was in a box that said cheap old matchboxes. Make an offer. So I said, how much? And he said, $5. And I was sold $5 for something. I don't know where I'll put this, but yeah, it's good. Look, there is a thrill to get back something that was part of your childhood. Now, before I go on to my last purchase, you will notice that in the video I have Brad and Turtle Power, and I did pick up a bunch of stuff from him. However, it wasn't stuff that I purchased at the show. There was stuff Brad runs kind of like fortnightly auctions, live auctions. So that was auction stuff, and I'm going to save it. I've got a Brad video where I actually went up to his home, the HQ of Turtle Power, as it were. So I'm going to go through all my turtle purchases because from a few months ago having 0 turtles, I now have a pretty decent collection of loose, complete turtles now since first picking up those Rocksteady, Bebop, Extra Stockman, and the baseball turtle. It's grown huge. So I will show those in another video that I'm working on now. Now, the final thing I got here, and I think it's the most loved here, is this big green and purple brown rhino. So this, if I can get the shot in correctly, is in fact, I don't know if you can see it there. This is actually an Imperial Toys rhino. I'm not even sure of the exact date. I believe the exact date is 84 on it, I think, or am I say, well, a little bit more explanation. Why am I in love with this rhino? From my last, I think my last video, my All Creatures Great and Small video, I'll flash it up on the screen in a second. I started showing you my Imperial Toys collection. Imperial Toys are a US company that made mainly large animal figures, among other things, and I've kind of fallen in love with their figures. So this one stand had this on it, and I looked at it because I've been looking at a few other animals and stands and missing. Looked at this, and the guy was like, "That's an Imperial Toys rhino," and I was like, "Oh yes, this was exciting." Look, I love Star Wars. I love my turtles, but it's easier to get that stuff. There are lots of sellers, but there's no one that specializes in Imperial Toys. So finding something like this, adding, I think now, is that my 3rd Imperial Toy to the collection? Yeah, I absolutely loved it. So yeah, thank you to the seller. I don't think he has a store, just a individual seller. So he had $40 on this. I said $30, and he was like, "Yeah, sure, go on." So this particular rhino is from a line that I believe was published from Imperial Toys in 1983. So it was called Dragons, Knights, and Daggers was the name of a toy line. And it was something that was, as I mentioned before, Masters of the Universe adjacent Motu. So this Rhino Avenger, I think it's called, featured in a couple of different versions and color variations. So I'm going to flash a few of those up on the screen now. So there's a single one that came with a what's what I'm looking for? A saddle, which you could put your He-Man, your Masters of the Universe figure on. This particular one, I believe, is from the Rhino Avenger and Chariot, because the pictures I found a good site called Wheeljack's Lab. I'll put their link in the description, and they had a bunch of information on Imperial Toys. So if you're looking for it, you can find it there. So yeah, this was my story circle deal of the day. So $30 on that. Very happy to have it. Let's see the total. So not bad. I didn't have a budget, I suppose, but I think this is pretty acceptable. Now, look, good news about the toy fair. I think it was a damn good toy fair this time. One of the things is, I kind of mentioned, obviously it's a lot of Hot Wheels, but there was a lot more variety, I believe, at this one, a lot more different sellers. And exciting news is they revealed that they are coming back in 2026 and now at a new venue. So they will be at the Te Atatu Peninsula Community Centre, which is pretty cool. That's pretty close to us. Well, it's not, yeah, I'm not sure if it's any closer than town, but exciting. The new venue is definitely going to be bigger, because probably one of the negatives for the toy fair is how busy it gets. So it's real good they'll be able to expand, hopefully do more sellers. Maybe reach out and see if I can get a stand here as well and sell some stuff. But yeah, sorry, I'll put a proper version of this up in a second, and I'll link to their Facebook page. I only seem to have a Facebook page, so I'll link to that. So look, that's me signing out. Next week we should have the Turtle Power video. So many things come. Definitely got to do a double upload week, if only so I can open more of the toys that I've got in here. So that is Story Circle Toys signing off.